Hi, Rise and Flyers. It's so good to see you. I am Hope LeNoir. I am your expert career coach who has a ton of experience in the workforce that I share with my clients. And also, I am your inspirational speaker and an award winning author. It's so great to see you again. Today, I want to share my top 5 books that help navigate this career journey of ours. I'll make it quick because I know time is valuable. Here's my number 1 book. If you are a client of mine, then you've actually seen this book or heard me talk about it. You've probably been to an event where I actually gave these books away. I didn't write these books, but this one is great. It focuses on your top 5 strengths and doesn't spend a lot of time talking about your weaknesses. If we spend a lot of time trying to strengthen the areas that we're weak in, we're wasting the opportunity to build the strengths that we already have and use those strengths and tell people about those strengths. I love StrengthsFinder 2.0, and that book is by Tom Rath. I also want you to know that, it doesn't look like a thick book, and it's certainly not. It's only a couple of pages. The rest of the pages are actually definitions. So when you take the test and you see your top 5 strengths, you can look up the definition in those books. It helps you pinpoint where it is that you want to go or what you want to do or the conversations you want to have with professionals that influence whether or not you'll navigate the career journey. The second book that I love is Who Moved My Cheese? This particular book was very helpful to me. It was eye-opening because it reminded me to actually pay attention to the business around me. What are people doing inside the business I am in, outside of the business that I am in? So that I'll know, where is the cheese going? Let me figure out how I can advance, how I can learn more, how I can grow, where I need to be, and not just always go to the same place, hitting my head against the wall when there is nothing there for me to actually get my cheese from. So that's a great book. Who Moved My Cheese? And the author is Sir Johnson. Love him. It's a quick book. You will enjoy it. So the next book is Expect to Win. I love this book. These are a lot of great tips about Expect to Win because it gives you advice on visibility, on branding. I use this a lot. It was very helpful for me to make it clear what it is that I can do to help people and help businesses. So it gives you some really great tips. This is a good read. And it's a proven system. So certainly go for it. The 4th book is really thick. So if you're not a reader, beware. But this is really good, especially if you're a leader of people. The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. You probably can't see the author of this book, but it's Patrick Linton. Trying to put it on the screen so you can see. There it is. This book is great because it shows you ways that you can actually build a team that trusts each other, that's very efficient and functional. It's a great way to figure out if you're having challenges building a team. It's a great way to figure out where you can start. And for me, it's always trust. So that's the number 1 thing that's important. And this book brings it out. Trust. Does your team have trust? Do they trust each other? And it goes into definitions about what trust is. Take a read because trust may not be what you really expect it to be. Again, the 5 dysfunctions of a team. The last one that I'm going to talk about today, there are many more that I found really valuable, but the last one I'm going to talk about today is actually for people who are interviewing for new roles or for different roles. And this is, there you go. Let me try to get it in so you can actually see the title. I've got this beautiful window that gives me a lot of sunlight over here. I love it unless I'm doing something like this. But this title is 60 Seconds and You're Hired. I love this one because it's a great resource for tips on what to do, what to say, how to behave when you're going for that interview. And this one's about this thick. You don't necessarily have to read the whole thing, but there's some really useful information on here that it works too. This is another book that works. I like reading stuff that works. I don't like to read just to read. I want it to work. I want it to do something for me, Do I read other things like novels? Absolutely. Actually, the audio version. But professionally, I need to read something and want to read something that is actually going to do something for me. I hope that you found this helpful. I'm going to go backwards and repeat them just in case you missed it and don't want to rewind the video. This one, 60 seconds and you're hired. Great tips for those that are interviewing for new roles. Sorry you can't see the title there. Beautiful sunshine outside. The next book that I talked about was 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. There's the title. Very good, especially if you're a leader. Or you're actually not a leader of people, but you're a leader anyway. And you can help build your team yourself. You can lead up, is what they call it. And this one is Expect to Win. So go in your career expecting to win. Here's some tips, again, on behaviors, things you can say, things you can do to help build who you are and that it's very visible. I love Carla Harris. She's the one that wrote this book, by the way. Who Moved My Cheese? It's a fun book, but it reminds you, don't go to the same wall hitting your head when the cheese is not there. Just be aware of the business going on around you to see how you can shift and if you need to shift. And again, the #1 book that all of my clients hear me talk about, upside down. There we go. StrengthsFinder 2.0. Find out what your top 5 strengths are and use them to your advantage in your career. I hope these were helpful. It was great videoing for you guys again. I hope that you have a fantastic week. Even if your week ended, it can be fantastic next week. Thanks, Rise and Flyers. Have a wonderful rest of the year, a wonderful rest of the day, a wonderful rest of the week. Just make it fantastic. Bye.